Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Movie Madness with me and YR, me being, of course, Dr. Earl. And,
And YR being Young Republican, how y'all doing, guys?
all right.
Brown, did you real quick for the music show? I mean, the
Yes,
music. We'll have when the music show will be live, but the movie show.
yes,
Let's. I kind of came up with because obviously Joe Pesci we're doing today right
yeah,
now,
that's right.
but
We are. We're
for
looking at
next
the work
for
of Joe Pesci.
for the next music show, movie show, would you agree that we should do um and he did just recently pass away, by the way, a year or two ago.
Yeah.
But the other actor that was in Goodfellas and all of that,
Oh,
that was
really?
in that movie Wild Hogs with. Let me look it up.
Wild
You know
Hogs.
what I'm talking.
I've heard of that movie. I guess it's features John Travolta and Tim Allen, if I'm correct.
It's the one other actor that's in all these movies with Pesci and um all the actors we did before on the series. That's what I'm trying to get to here. It's like
All right.
Pet third, and then what's his? Here, let me look it up. You'll know when I say it, you're gonna be like, oh yeah. Um,
All right.
he did pass away recently, and the name
Mm.
of him is um. Well, he was Ray Liotta. Ray
Yeah,
Liotta.
that's what I remember. Yeah, great actor. Definitely missed for
Do you
sure.
agree we should do Ray Liotta on the next
Yeah, we should pay
edition?
homage to the guy because the man's been around for years. First time I heard of him was the movie Something Wild with Melanie Griffin, and I believe that was in 1986, if I remember.
It's a good actor. Then obviously we'll get to other actors. Like I'd like to get into the. This is kind of like the crime gangster era of movies. We're dealing with these actors, but like, obviously your Adam Sandler's, Chris Farley's, your comedy movies list would be interesting too, Brown. You know what I'm saying? Later on
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But like,
Yes,
this is good. We at Ray Liotta will hit that. But Joe Pesci,
Joe Pesci.
uh,
Yes,
I didn't even look at. He could have five movies for all I know. I didn't even look at the list. Hopefully, he has a lot of
I have a
movies.
lot of his a list of movies right here, and some go back to 1961.
All right, good,
All
good.
right, the one is called Hey, Let's Twist, and that was from 61. The first time I've heard of him was back in 1987 when he played the villain, the heel, in that Michael Jackson Moonwalker segment, the Smooth Criminal storyline. You may remember that from that was the
Yeah.
big that was one of the big stories in that VHS when that whole thing came out back in 1987. The Moonwalker video?
Michael Jackson.
Yes. Look up the
Uh,
Smooth Criminal story on here on YouTube if it's available. Joe Pesci is the villain. He's sporting shades. He's wearing all black. His hair is tied back and kind of like a upright man bun. It's like a little erection when you look at it there from an angle. And the plot of it is that he was gonna, I guess he wanted to affect the whole world with drugs. And of course, Michael Jackson and the three kids that was with him, they were going to try and stop him. They run into this place there, and that's when he boom. That's when the music breaks out. They do his dance routine and such, and then afterwards, Jackson gets captured. He gets kicked, and then all of a sudden, he transforms himself into this robotic plane.
what the movie? I'm dancing as fast as I can.
But again, no, that's
What movie?
moon. That's Moonwalk. That's a Smooth Criminal story that I'm referring to.
Oh, wow! I'm looking at it right now.
Yep.
Experimental anthology. But we skipped over a lot of these other movies, Brown. So
Yeah. So I got the list of them right there. We're gonna look at it.
Hey, Brown, that 1961, the Hey Let's Twist one. I wonder if
Yes.
that has that song. Let's twist again, like we did last summer. I wonder
I
if
see.
that's
You mean referring to the Chubby Checker song?
yeah, if Chubby Checker has anything to.
Well, Chubby Checker had the twist that was the big hit. He also had another song, "Let's Twist Again," kind of like a musical sequel to that song.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I don't know much about this. I just discovered it myself, to be exact. Like I said, the only first time I heard of Joe Pesci was with the Michael Jackson
Wow.
storyline. Yep. Now, in 1976, he was in a movie called The Death Collector. I never even heard of that. Probably one of those low budget movies. And believe it or not, we were talking about this movie last week, Raging Bull from 1980,
This
alongside Robert De Niro.
this is the the Death Collector was Pesci's first. So we got to slow it down here a bit.
Hmm.
Rein it back here. It was his first build appearance in a movie. Like his name was on the
Ah,
movie for this
mm,
Death Collector, which it was like you said, it was low budget crime film. Which the definition for low budget film is basically a motion picture shot with little to no funding from a major film studio or private investor. So this is, I mean, like we can make low budget films on our phones in 2024. Basically, if they're
yes.
doing low budget in 1976 off their grainy cameras back then, and I don't know if home cameras were only black and white in the 70s back then, Brown, or when home video cameras were made color. I don't know when that
I don't
was.
know. We never had a home camera in our household ever. Believe it or not, ever. Like I don't think we even had one of those portable held handheld
Think
ones,
it
to be
was well,
exact.
look. I never had a home camera. I never had a cell phone in high school. I never knew nothing. I mean, we had
But
flip
then again,
phones.
they were not made until later in the 2000s.
I mean, we don't. You know what I'm saying? It's simpler times and everything, but the yeah, but we can make low budget films and everything.
Yep.
But back Family Enforcer, um, it was directed and written by Ralph
Uh-huh.
DeVito.
All right.
Ralph DeVito, who is, can you see if he's in relation to Danny DeVito?
Let me look up right now. Give me a couple seconds there. Ralph DeVito. Maybe yes, maybe no, because usually you could have the last name and not be related. Ralph DeVito.
Yes.
I think it's
Yes.
also safe to say that in a meme circumstance, when someone gets pissed off extremely, you can say that person's going to go all Joe Pesci out on that other individual.
Yes. And that's actually the film that, um, good God, um, that Robert De Niro saw and told Scorsese about Joe Pesci acting, and then that's when Raging Bull came out, Dr. Brown, in 1980,
Oh,
which is a sports drama. Okay, it is a drama. It is a sports film. It's a Jake LaMotta. Have you ever heard of that boxer or no?
yes,
It's a
I
real.
have. I have. Definitely.
It's an
Let's see.
adoption of former. Wait, it is a true. It is a real
So far, the
person.
only DeVito I'm looking at right now is Ray DeVito.
Ah,
Instagram, YouTube, of course, Danny DeVito, shirt, other stuff related to him. And doesn't say anything about a Ralph DeVito, unfortunately, there. So I'm thinking maybe probably somebody else. He's probably not that big of a name for him to even be mentioned. All right.
son of a bitch.
You all right?
Son of a name goat. Yeah.
All right.
So there's no relation on the DeVitos on that one.
Not at this. We do not know for certain right there. So but then again, sometimes famous actors and musicians can have brothers who try to make it in the same realm, but don't do so well.
Did
For
you ever
example,
see Did you ever see Raging Bull or no?
I saw a couple mini scenes from the movie when it was on cable television a year later. Remember, cable TV was like, you have to wait a year for it to premiere on HBO or Cinemax, which we had at that time. also the Showtime network.
What was the price of cable back then?
I do not remember, believe it or
I mean,
not, it's been so long. But I remember that when we finally got cable TV, we were able to explore all these different channels. Nickelodeon, when I believe that was
yes.
in its prime. Actually, way before that Dan Schneider guy took over and got all these kids, these teenage girls and boys involved on all those shows.
Now in
Nickelodeon,
19,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, I watched Nickelodeon too in the 90s and all that.
I didn't really watch it. The only thing I remember from Nickelodeon was late Saturday nights. It was a show called Pop Clips. It was some cheesy DJ with a mustache and curly hair, and he was playing music videos from Nicolette Larson, The Tourists, featuring the members of the Eurythmics, and a couple other artists as well. But we had to stop watching because it was the same things repeated over and over and over. All right, there. Back to Joe Pesci. Ruby's Dream, I guess it's called, from 1982. He's right on the cover here of the
Hold
poster
on.
here.
Brown, you're missing two movies.
Really?
Three
Mm.
in 82.
I'm going.
Is the Dream one the only one that's coming up for 1982 for you?
So far, yes.
All right, go to the because I have the whole deal. Go to Joe Pesci's Wikipedia,
Hmm.
and you'll click his filmography tab, and yeah, in the 1984 tab, there's or the 1982 tab, there's like three movies,
Mm.
including yours. So there's four in 1982 he was really
I.
in, or maybe your list is the ones he starred in
Hmm.
rather than movies he just maybe was a supporting actor or whatever. I think
Hmm.
I have the whole, which is what we want. We want every movie he was ever in. You
All
know what I'm
right, there.
saying?
So here I got this little tab up here on my phone.
Like I'll tell you the ones in '82 and see if
Oh, oh,
then
here's
they're in
this
your
one. You
list.
remember the movie Easy Money with Rodney Dangerfield? He played opposite him in that movie. That was from 1983.
Yes.
He also was with
It,
Robert De Niro once again in Once Upon a Time in America the following year. And he
what
nearly stole the show as a con man, Leo Getz, in Lethal Weapon in 1989. Actually, it was Lethal Weapon number two, alongside Mel
everybody
Gibson and
skip
Danny
it off.
Glover.
Brian skipped like eight movies. Hold on. So
This is what
you
I'm going by the information I have here.
just go to the Wikipedia list, Brian. It shows all your because the list you got skipping years. Like you went from '84 to '89. What? Look, so here I'll give you some of the
I got it
try
right
that.
now.
Yeah, the Wikipedia. Okay, so like 1982, Dear Mr. Wonderful,
Mm,
which I don't even think you. And this is back when Joe Pesci had full head of
um,
hair.
ah,
And I don't know if that was wigs. I don't know if that was um, what is it called? Toupees, right? Because isn't
pretty
like
much.
Pesci? Wasn't Pesci known to wear toupees or something? Isn't that a thing?
I
Like a
think
like
I would not be surprised because many movie roles require you to wear certain wigs, like Mark Hamill did in The Last Jedi,
yeah.
and Keith Sutherland in The
This
Lost
one,
Boys.
You're right, Brown. You said the Ruby's Dream.
Yes.
So in UK or in German, it's called another. It's called Dear Mr. Wonderful as well.
Mm.
There's
Oh
two
wow.
names.
Oh, interesting.
I guess in the 1980, it's 1982 German comedy drama film
Ah.
starring I mean, and it's produced and written by people from Germany. They have German last names.
Mm-hmm.
But he did this. But you're right, it's two different names. We just got confused on that one. But you're right on that Ruby's Dream, which you
Hmm.
saw or no?
No, I didn't. So I already heard about it just now. Because they got
Mr.
remember, a
Wonder.
lot of these actors do movies that nobody has even heard of yet. We just don't know it until years on down the line.
Now this '83 film called Eureka.
I was looking at the that.
which had Gene Hackman in
Mm.
it.
Yes,
Major,
he's yep, major star.
basically like a movie about striking gold, and there's fears that the father is being watched by the daughter, trying to mobsters, Caribbean islands, all types of weird stuff in the Bahamas. It's in 1943. Brown. The movie
Don't
was
trust anybody. Let's get the gold for ourselves type of dramas. Correct?
yes.
Yep, we've seen that play out multiple times, many times in movies, TV shows,
Once,
and such.
that once upon a time in America.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was a big deal then.
Seen this movie, Brown?
I seen the many clips of it, that's for sure, when it was on cable TV. Remember, most of the stuff I remember watching was on cable TV. We didn't really go out to the movies that much. Around that time, the last movie we all saw as a family, me, my sister, mom, and dad, was Return of the Jedi, and this was prior to it becoming Episode 6. Right there.
All right. Next one. Brown.
All right, there.
Every
Look at.
Jail, 1984 Italian comedy film. He does these foreign films.
Yep.
And he wasn't starring in some of these because this Tutti Didinto guy
Hmm.
was the star in that one.
Yes.
He language Italian again. He was in a lot of movies throughout the years. Now this 1987 Man on Fire, Dr. Brown. What do you know about this movie?
Man on Fire, 1987 is what you said?
Yes.
Hmm. I'm trying to look it up right now in the Wikipedia, the acting career. Oh, by the way, the Wikipedia also states that him and Frank Vincent had a comedy duo similar to Abbott and Costello called Vincent and Pesci. That's for a short while there, and I believe that was in the 1970s. All right, there. Says here he got a phone call in 1979 from Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro, who were impressed with his performance in The Death Collector and asked him to co star in Scorsese's Raging Bull as Joey LaMotta. During the course of the filming, Pesci broke one of his ribs. That does happen a lot of times during movie making. Somebody gets injured a couple times during production. He also won the BAFTA Film Award for newcomer to a leading film roles in 1981. He was also nominated for Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Over the next few years, he would appear in several smaller flicks like Dear Mr. Wonderful, that we just mentioned, Eureka, and Easy Money in 1983. In 1984, he was cast in Once Upon a Time in America alongside Robert De Niro again. The following year, he starred as private detective Rocky Nelson in the short lived television comedy series Half Nelson. In 1988, he appeared in the Michael Jackson musical anthology movie Moonwalker. I mentioned that earlier on. In the film's sixth and longest segment, Smooth Criminal, he played the antagonist, the villain, crime boss Frankie Mr. Big Ladeo, Lideo, which is an anagram for one of the film's producers and longtime manager of Michael Jackson, Frank DeLeo, whom Pesci played. Who let me get tongue tied here. Now, Frank DeLeo would later appear with Pesci in the movie Goodfellas. He appeared as Leo Getz, a comedic sidekick and best friend to protagonist detectives Martin Riggs and Roger Murtaugh, aka Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. in Lethal Weapon 2 in 1989 and in 1998. He returned with Scorsese in 1990 for Goodfellas alongside De Niro once again. He played mobster Tommy DeVito, based on real life mobster Thomas DeSimone. Tommy DeVito was
Hmm.
also the name of Pesci's old acquaintance in Bellevue, New
Maybe.
Jersey, and a member of the Four Seasons. But contrary to popular belief, the naming is coincidental. Pesci's old friend Frank Vincent also appeared in the movie. Pesci's character kills Vincent's character in a rage in one of the best remembered scenes in the movie, after the Vincent character tells him to go home and get your fucking shine box on. I remember
Oh,
that was, you believe it or not, that line was used on a talk show that I used to listen to back in Michigan called The Mitski and Doyle. Whenever he had some caller call in and give the wrong information or they got something wrong on the quiz, they would play that sound clip. Go get your fucking shine box on. Of course, they had to beep out the fucking, of course.
we gotta beat that out too, guys.
No.
All right. So, Brian, what was the first? 'Cause we got some movies to get to here. What was the first Joe Pesci movie you seen?
Oh, the one I just mentioned, Moonwalker.
There's
This
a
movie,
lot. I feel like his
the
later movies here were coming up on some of his
actually,
best.
well, the one I really got to know about his name years later on down the line was My Cousin Vinny with Ralph Macchio and Marissa Tomei.
Get to that. We'll get to. We're way away from that. But this let's dive into this Moonwalker movie. Bye bye.
Yeah.
This was 1988, and
Yep.
let me read. Let me. It was experimental anthology musical. So was it pretty much a musical?
Well, it's pretty much
Get
different
anything in it?
segments into one movie. It was released on VHS. It was an immediate success because a year before, Jackson had released his record, Bad, during the summer of that year, 87. And I guess it was the longest segments, the smooth criminal one. It was a long storyline. I gave the description. You got to look it up on YouTube if it's available.
So what did Joe Pesci do in the film?
He was the villain. He was a crime boss. And
Hmm.
as I stated, he had wore these shades. He had his hair in his ponytail. Don't know if it was his real hair or it's a wig or whichever. Most likely a wig. But the man bun he had pointed upwards, which
Like a peanut.
yeah, pretty much yes, like an erect penis. Now, alongside the other that segment, there were other segments like the Speed Demon segment, which was kind of featured claymation along with live action. There was, of
Yeah.
course, and there was also his cover of "Come Together," the Beatles tune.
Yo, Brown, they developed that Moonwalker into a video game by Sega. Did you know that?
Yes, I remember. I was not surprised. Everything was Michael Jackson around the mid '80s there. Thriller was all over the place. Everybody was copying his look, his moves, his style, everything, the
Is,
shades, the one glove that he wore.
is Joe Pesci's name Mr. Big in the movie?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Right. Since now it's making sense because I never seen
Yep,
this. All right, Mr. Big.
yep, I remember.
Comic. Wait, they had toys. What? Or
I went up.
2014.
What's up? Toys of Michael Jackson?
Did you the 1988? Well,
Hmm.
Brown, did you own that Moonwalker on VHS?
No, I was never big on, but the Kmart that was nearby where we lived would be playing that whole movie from start to finish, and I admit I'd be one of those guys watching it for free.
It was on TV a lot right back in the day.
Yep, it was.
No, it's a son, no, a question, no. Um, All right. Let's get into.
Home Alone.
No, bro, you're missing all these movies, Brown. Oh my God, you got to get this list, bro, on
I'm on the I'm
Wikipedia.
on I'm on the Wikipedia right now.
But you're not. This is
I'm going by what
Mr.
it tells me right now.
Lethal Weapon, Doctor. Oh, actually, the legendary life of Ernest Hemingway,
Mm.
which there's no information on it, but I guess it was a film in 1988. The legendary life of Ernest Hemingway might have been
The
like a
author,
I know, but it might have been like a history film or like a you know what I'm saying like TV
biography
pub
film of the guy.
on that. 1989 Lethal Weapon 2. Why wasn't he
Yep,
in Lethal Weapon 1? I don't know, but
I
this
know.
was Mel Gibson, Danny Glover. A lot of
It was an
never
action
seen.
movie.
It was an action crime.
Yeah, it was an action. It was the action slash crime slash drama slash comedy a couple times because Mel Gibson played this crazy cop alongside Danny Glover. They were partners and they did a lot of movies together. So Lethal Weapon sometime soon counts as a film series. And one of these days, when Ark gets back, we should take a look at all the film series that are out there, whether it's Carrie, Friday the 13th, Hellraiser, Star Wars, you name it, Harry Potter. Definitely, we got to do that topic sometime soon.
Catch Fire, 1990.
Mm, I don't think.
Romantic
Go ahead.
romantic action thriller. Romantic action thriller film.
All right.
You never saw that one?
No, I didn't know about this until now.
Yo, cameo appearances by Charlie Sheen. Joe
Mm.
Pesci appearance. Um, Catherine Keener and Bob Dylan.
Oh
Dr. Brown.
wow, Bob Dylan was in here in that
1990,
movie. Wow,
1990 came out.
wow. Probably doing an
Produced by
appearance.
Dick Clark.
Mm.
Produced. The movie was produced by Dick Clark, Brian. You know who that
Oh
is?
yes, we know him, the man behind American Bandstand, the man
People.
behind TV's funniest bloopers,
Dennis
practical
Hopper.
jokes. Dennis
Dennis
Hopper.
Hopper. Jodie Foster was
Yep,
in this one.
yep,
Man, $10 million budget.
yeah. I guess Bob Dylan made like somewhat of a cameo in that production there. But Dick
And
Clark, he was like considered America's oldest teenager.
in this Betsy's Wedding.
Mm.
Have you seen this one?
Not
Man,
that I know of. Like I said, and I'm hearing about these movies now for the first time.
it was released by Buena Vista Pictures Distribution.
Mm-hmm.
Buena Vista Pictures Distribution, and
Yes.
it came out in 1990. Romantic comedy film. Uh, what's her name was in here? Molly Ringwald. Dr.
Yep.
Brown was one.
Yep.
Obviously, Joe Pesci. Um, very interesting. Now, the big one came out in 1990. Goodfellas. Now, have you
Yep.
seen that one, Dr. Brown?
No, but we heard about it multiple times.
You gotta
And we
watch the
also
whole.
cannot forget another 1990 movie that was
Dr.
a huge, big hit that he was in.
Dr. Movie, have you seen Scarface? The whole thing.
I have, yes, the movie Scarface with Al Pacino, which
See,
we touched up
you,
on last week.
yes, you got to see the Goodfellas in if you ever can.
All right,
It's
there.
just so good. It really is.
Oh, we cannot forget another hit movie that he was in that same year, Home Alone, with
Wait,
Macaulay.
wait, good for we got to keep. I'm not done talking about Goodfellas yet, Brown.
All
Have you
right,
you haven't even seen it? You
Goodfellas.
see,
No, unfortunately, I did not.
um, it's just as good as Scarface. You got to see it,
All
and you
right,
probably know the
we
storyline
know,
is
we
nuts.
know. Yep, no, We know that it was about an undercover FBI agent working alongside a bunch of mobsters.
And I think this is when I mean, yeah, he was in a lot of before that, but like I feel like this movie really uh I mean, looking back since then, I mean, Lethal Weapon 2, right,
Yep,
it was a bubbly buddy cop action comedy. So I mean, there really wasn't any like, there wasn't like Pesci wasn't but you say in technically, you say in Moonwalker, Pesci was technically like a mob boss. Would you
correct.
say?
Yes, absolutely.
So what I'm trying to get to here is, was Goodfellas his first mob type movie? Looking back, besides Moonwalker, now look at Man on Fire. It says action thriller, nothing about crime or nothing. I mean, a crime movie would be a mob movie. I mean, it's not going to call it a mob movie as the genre; they would call it crime. What a mob movie would be like Goodfellas. Let me see what they call that. Yeah, it's a biographical crime drama film. Crime drama, crime film would be equal to a like a mob movie. Brown is what I'm getting
Yes,
to. But
exactly.
this was, I feel like, in 1990, how many people how many people in everyone's homes, Brown? You think everyone had a VCR by then?
I think everybody at this point,
Then it
because
was affordable by then, like a VCR.
yes, VHS recorder, player, you name it. We had one at our old household.
So I felt like this was seen by a lot of people. Goodfellas. I mean, this was his huge deal. This had Robert De Niro in it, Ray
Yep,
Liotta,
yep. Big
all the
talk of the town. Big. I remember the TV ad for the movie. They played the second half of Layla from Derek and the Donables, and that
really,
part of that song, not the whole song altogether, was featured in the soundtrack as well.
like the song for the movie or no?
Yes.
Really? Was there a lady named Layla in the movie or no?
No. No.
All right. So the budget was 25 million and the box office made 47 million. Now that doesn't seem like a lot now, but in 1990 and not in, Brian, do you feel like I mean, I'm telling you, you're just gonna have to watch. Like it's and look, I just caught it like a couple years ago. I watched it, and I haven't watched it,
Yes.
before, right? So it's not like I watched it in 1990 myself, but it's just as good as Scarface, Brown. I'm telling. I mean, it's. I don't want to say it's better. I don't want to say Scarface is better. Different. They are different, right? But they are just they're long. I feel like Goodfellas is longer. It's
Hmm.
a longer movie, but it is worth, even if you went and bought the DVD, Brown, for $20. eh, It's worth the 20. I mean, it's really good. I mean, it's Godfather. I have never watched the whole thing through, nothing like that, so I could be probably missing out on that myself. Have you watched the whole Godfather through, or
I saw many clips from mostly the first one.
VCR when you were kind of poor back in the day? You didn't have like
We weren't
VCRs and
really we didn't have we weren't really poor. We were just a regular middle class family.
you had a VCR, or
We did have a VCR later on in the 80s there.
I mean, this good.
Up until then we didn't. We just had to
Like
rely on VHF and UHF.
yeah, UHF. I feel like that '90s really was the best movies for Joe Pesci.
Oh, I agree there. Home
See,
Alone.
I know that Raging Bull's good. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like I know that was a big one, but this Home Alone, I feel like
Yeah,
this was the first comedy.
yeah,
We
it
call this
was him, Daniel Stern, and Macaulay Culkin.
Doc Brown, they call this a Christmas comedy film.
Yeah, because it takes place during Christmas time, and it's one of the best outright comedies out there. It was
Now,
him.
was Joe Pesci or Daniel Stern molesting Macaulay Culkin on the set of
No,
Home?
no, no. It was a comedy. It was something like in the similar of one of those Tom and Jerry type of
I'm not saying
movies.
on the movie. I'm just saying on the set of the movie because
I don't
Macaulay
think
Culkin,
so. I
he
don't
has
think
issues.
so.
He had issues, blah blah blah. Like drama and whatever, and like Michael Jackson and all that. But I
Well,
feel like
Macaulay Culkin did state that Jackson never once laid a finger on him.
this was before the Michael Jackson stuff, right?
Yes,
1990.
correct. Wait, 1990, when people still looked at Michael Jackson as a idol, a god, and such.
All right, so this Daniel Stern was on this one. I feel like, and then he's Howard Stern's cousin, I think.
No, no, not by
No
any
relation to
means.
Howard. No relation to Howard Stern. He's
None
looking
at all.
rough.
Also, by the way, let me point this out. Usually, when somebody has a last name of either somebody else or a celebrity, doesn't exactly qualify them as being related to that individual.
No, but I know, but in Hollywood or the music business, it is we felt it's a little common, a little bit. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know
But I feel
that's
like
understandable.
those people are groups within each other. The Jackson Five, the is the Dixie Chick sisters or no?
I don't think so. I doubt
You
it
know what
very
I mean?
much.
I'm
I know
no,
what you're talking about. However, there's a band out of Brazil, a trio of girls who call themselves The Warning. They are all sisters.
Doctor. Did you see? Have you seen Home Alone the whole thing?
Unfortunately, I did not there. I
Oh
saw
my
so many clips on cable TV a year later. And like I said, it was all Tom and Jerry, old WB. It was comical. It was like in the vein of, like I mentioned, Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny, Yosemite Sam. It was like that. Two burglars try to break into this house, and the kid keeps coming up with these crazy ideas to foil them along the way. Movie was a big hit. It put Pesci on the map, Daniel Stern on the map, and especially Macaulay Culkin.
Thing the writer of that movie died.
Which one was
John,
it?
John Hughes. Have you heard
Yes,
of
he
him?
was. Oh man, he was a big deal back in the 80s. He wrote and directed many teen comedies, teen dramas, Some Kind of Wonderful, The Breakfast Club, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. He wrote, done a lot of movies like Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, both with Molly Ringwald. He was like the foreseer of the Brat Pack.
He died of a heart attack, Brian. Like,
Yes,
and when he was when he was uh 59.
yeah.
Jeez.
What year was that again? I believe it's in the
Like,
2000s.
Brian, how come people die of heart attacks like 50? No, he died in 2009. Yeah,
Oh
you're
yeah,
right.
and remember at the following Oscars, all the stars who worked on his films, like Molly Ringwald, Judd Hirsch, Andrew Garfield, Andrew what's his name there? Everybody came out on stage to give him the proper salute in his honor. He was he's most definitely unique of a filmmaker, no doubt about that. No other filmmaker was able to tackle the most deepest of subjects in drama as well as the most deepest in comedy. So credit to John Hughes for his body of work.
All right, this and Joe Pesci played like a crooked cop in Home Alone, and at
No,
that time, he was. Let me look up the age.
they were bumbling him and Daniel Stern were actually bumbling burglars. They tried to
If
burglarize a
if
house of an
one,
eight-year-old. Go ahead.
if he's 81 now, how old was he in 1990, Brown?
I'm not too sure, 81. I think it may have been in his somewhat in his between 60 or before reaching 60, if I'm correct.
Negative.
Hmm.
1990. That's 34
Hmm.
years ago.
Oh wow.
So you're he's 80 now. So he's like 50 something. He was 50. He was in his early 50. 50 something on that in
Hmm.
1990 in the movie Home Alone. He was 50, and
I
he was
see
looking
there.
fine. He was bald. Keep
Hmm.
that in mind. He was
Yep.
totally bald in that movie, and we're going to come up on some other movies where he's not bald headed. So with that thing you said earlier about people wearing wigs, people wear,
Yep.
especially if you're
Exactly.
there, you go. Joe Pesci probably was bald in real
Now
life.
here's something else worthy of noting. Pesci used what is called cartoon cussing or menacing gibberish. Garnered comparisons to Looney Tunes character Yosemite Sam. 2 years later, he reprised that role in Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. In 1991, he was in JFK, directed by Oliver Stone, about, of course, the JFK assassination investigation. He played alongside Kevin Costner in that movie. I remember the ad for it. It kept saying the story that won't go away. And they're right. People to this very day still talk about it. I
Well,
bet,
and
I bet they still talk about it in the area that you live in, Dallas.
no, they don't talk about that.
Oh wow, I'm surprised because he died there back in '63.
Brown, Dr. Brown, the Super movie.
Hmm. Yes, he played a slumlord. He played a
It's
slumlord landlord.
it's a comedy film, Dr. Brown. So in the
Yes.
'90s, it's looking like Pesci's going into the comedy genre a little bit more in the
Hmm.
'90s, much
Yes.
like De Niro did in the 2000s with Meet the Parents and all that.
Yes.
Um, have you heard of the Super movie?
I heard of it. Let me explain it. He plays this landlord who doesn't care about his tenants, who doesn't care about helping out where they live, the apartments that he rents out. He's like a slumlord. Then I guess he gets taken to court by some of the tenants. They bond together to file a lawsuit against him or take him to court. And he is sentenced to live in one of his rooms that he rents out. No water, no food, no nothing as punishment. Give him a taste of his own medicine. And I guess during the course of that movie, he learns to show compassion for the tenants that he rents his places to.
They did do a movie called JFK. It didn't
Yep.
even look like
Hmm. Yep.
it.
And let's
Like
not forget my cousin Vinny with Ralph Macho.
Macho Man.
No, 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 Ralph Macho, the guy who started in the Karate Kid. He was one of the big teen idols during the '80s.
Trio, Marissa Tomei,
Marissa
uh,
Tomei.
Rich Whitfield, Lane Smith, and Bruce McGill. And it
Mm-hmm.
was the final film appearance of Fred Gwynn.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Herman Munster.
By the way,
Yep.
uh, did you watch this movie? I did see this movie before,
Yeah.
pieces
Mm-hmm.
of it. Lawyer, he was like a lawyer or something type
Yes,
deal.
defending his cousin who got in trouble with some law enforcement in the area that they was in. I forgot which area it was, but it was like a small town. It was a comedy, no doubt about that.
Here, let me we'll finish the movies and then we have some television pieces. But I just want to throw that out there so we don't forget
Mm-hmm.
that he was in. But Dr. Brown, what do you know about Lethal Weapon 3? We're moving into 1992. What were you doing in 1992? Like,
I
did you
was
like
work.
90? What was up with
If
that?
for me, well, 1992 to me was a very dark year. The music course have changed drastically from the basic rock to the grunge metal alternative scene. Bands like Pearl Jam were being played continuously on the radio. It's just for me it was like a dark year for me because it just for some the change of scene just wasn't up to my taste.
Like that would be like if it's really never happened. Really, I don't know. Like, is it was it that huge, or is it just like look at the like the 2000s music, with the boy bands, or early
Later,
2000s,
yeah, early later 90s, early 2000s
boy
boy band
band,
shit.
Spice Girls, blah blah blah. Right, that was
Hmm.
huge.
That was big, way huge.
But you feel like that was kind of similar, and it faded away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank
But you
goodness.
feel like the '80s music that really faded away in the '90s like that. Like no one would liked it
Yes,
anymore.
yeah, you gotta remember the mainstream, the majority of the public out there are so mainstream.
Yeah.
They're followers. Whatever is trending, they'll follow it. Whatever music style is out there, they'll follow it. Whatever movies are out there, actors or actresses, they'll follow them. What's trending right now matters only to them, nothing else. I remember one time, and I was dating this one girl back in Michigan, and her friend, her and me,
So,
her friend, and my girlfriend, and the girl I was dating at that time, we were talking, and the night before I mentioned I saw this heavy
oh,
metal trio called Illegal. Hello, YR?
Dr. Brown.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? I think YR is having some issues right now with his mic. Can you hear me? YR?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Why are you there, dude?
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yes, I do.
What did you break up or something?
No, I was still here all this time.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear you at all for the last 30
Hmm.
seconds. It's complete silence. All right, so did we get into talk about the music thing? Did you get into Lethal Weapon 3? I mean, it's a lot of Lethal Weapons. It must have been
Yeah,
successful.
yeah, they were. Usually, that's how studios are. When one movie is successful, they'll try to continue it on and on and on. They do this.
1992.
Yep, yep. And I believe
So
that was when we first saw Chris Rock, if I'm correct, or was it Lethal Weapon 4? I'm thinking maybe it was Lethal Weapon 4.
yes,
All
Jet
right.
Li. Remember Jet Li?
All right.
All right. The Public Eye,
Mm,
1992 crime
mm,
thriller. Barbara Hershey, Stanley Tucci, and
mm-hmm.
Richard Schiff appear in the supporting roles. And it was a about a New York Daily News photographer. Is basically that in the 1940s. So it was, Dr. Brown. What about that Home Alone 2?
Yes, the Lost in New York. They came out a couple years after the first Home Alone, and I guess that movie was successful just as the first one.
Same kind of deal on that.
Yep. Two bumbling criminals trying to get this kid, and then everything just goes haywire for them, comedic wise. Now here's something else. Joe Pesci also hosted the sketch comedy show Saturday Night Live on October 10th, 1992, while doing publicity for My Cousin Vinny. During his monologue, in response to singer Sinead O'Connor ripping up that photo of Pope John Paul II
Mm.
on one of the other broadcasts, he described how he wished to give her such a smack. And he was not alone. A lot of people wanted to do that.
Yeah, but then when she died a year ago, everyone praised her. So
Yeah, of course, the ones who are praising her are the ones who are these liberal women who feel like, oh, women should have the right to power to vote. Women shouldn't have to shave their armpits. Women shouldn't have to dress all pretty for whoever whom. That's their mentality. I believe it. Believe it or not. That's mostly the mentality. Men should be sensitive. Men should think like us. Men should act like us. Men should wear rompers. And don't get me started on that, because, oh gosh, I'll go off. Okay. In 1993, he made an appearance in A Bronx Tale as a dude
Bronx
named
Tale,
Tarm.
Dr. Brown.
Yep,
Yeah, I
Bronx
was on
Tale.
mute. Sorry.
It's okay. Bronx
And had a
Tale.
Robert De Niro on. It was 93,
Yep, and
and
what's
that
that Chaz guy's name? Chaz Parati, I guess it's called. I have trouble pronouncing last names at times.
yeah, the mafia boss type deal, Brown
Yep,
on there.
exactly. You got to check out the bar fight scene where they're all kicking members of this biker gang inside this bar and outside. You got to check it out. That was badass. It's here on YouTube, folks. In fact, Chaz
Jimmy
himself. Go ahead.
Jimmy Hollywood Brown,
Never heard of that one.
1993. It was a comedy film. 3 million it only made with its $30 million budget.
Mm,
Christian Slater.
mm,
Christian Slater was on this is Jimmy Hollywood and then the plot.
no,
Failing actor, LA, spaced out friend after losing the job, leader, Metavillica group, videotapes criminals, all kinds of stuff. Vigilante group type
mm-hmm.
deal,
Yes,
slacker
yes.
deal. 1994 with honors,
Mm-hmm.
Brendan Fraser.
Yep. Earlier
Brendan,
on, I believe he made his film debut in the movie what's it called, Encino Man, where he played a caveman discovered by Pauly Shore and his loser friend,
yes.
and he
Patrick
turned
Dempsey.
and he tried to turn this caveman into one of them. What's up, bud? Hey, dude. And if you remember Pauly Shore, how he was back in the early '90s, you know what I'm talking about. So you grinded.
Patrick Dempsey Brown.
Mm.
Remember him?
Yes, I do.
All right,
And this is
1990.
mhm,
What's 1995? Dr. Brown's
Casino.
favorite casino.
That's right. That's when he was at his absolute peak. In fact, it fits to say that the term "I'm going to go old Joe Pesci on your ass" probably where they got that from. He just knocks the living shit out of everybody. In fact, he has this one guy in a head vice going tighter, tighter until his eyeballs pop out. And he gets Pesci. He's like, "You made me pop your eyes out for that piece of shit. What, you call my friend a faggot?" Boom. Guy had probably one of the shortest tempers ever in movie history. Say one word, wah, 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 you motherfucker. Ah. All right, let's see what we got here. Nicky
Take
Santoro, that was his name. And he was based on a real life mob enforcer, Anthony
Yeah,
Spilotto.
let me tell you a story about that casino movie.
Yes.
And I did tell it on the other, but I'll tell it for this one too
Mm-hmm.
quickly. You can hear me though.
Yes, I can. You
I think
must
it's
have muted out again. I see.
bad weather over there.
Mm. No, there's no bad weather over here. Everything is nice, nicey nice.
All right, so and This is when I saw the Casino movie like for the first time.
Hmm.
I used to be at the boarding academy, Brown, and
Yes.
we used to like fundraise candles, made sell candles and stuff. So we sold them around businesses,
Hmm.
and we it was like a hotel, it might have been like a Holiday Inn or something, Holiday Inn Express, nice, nice decent hotel
Yes.
somewhere in Oklahoma. We walk in, and you know how hotels nowadays they have like a little 32-inch or like a TV right up there at front. They might have a little area to eat or the coffee, where the coffee is, which is
Yes.
always like
Hmm.
a there.
Dining area.
And that movie was on, Casino was on, and I watched it for a long time and never saw the movie before that.
Mm.
It blew my mind. I mean, have you watched it fully or
I
no?
did, yes. When I was in Texas with my brother-in-law, we were watching it together, and it's like I said, it's probably one of Pesci's best roles ever.
Yeah, that like if I had to pick, I mean, it's deep. It's like it is a mobster movie, right? But
Absolutely, yep. Takes place
it's
in
not. I
Vegas.
mean, see, like on the other side of that, like with the Vegas stuff, like that really, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like, yeah, it's the Italian mob, blah blah blah, but like it's not from that New York side. Like it's you
Nope.
see most of the scenes, most of the buildings, blah blah blah, is Vegas. Is what I'm
Yep,
getting
it
to.
is definitely. Oh, I guess I knew it was going to take place in Vegas when I heard the title, Casino. That
I'm glad
tells you
you
right
did
there,
say
it's
that.
Vegas related.
1997, Dr. Brown.
Yep.
Eight heads in a duffel bag.
Oh, I remember that movie. That was like, wow. I guess that
That
was like a
black,
action
black,
drama. Go
black
ahead.
comedy. It says black comedy.
Yep,
Like it's dark. It's dark. Like it's a.
that's true.
Is it dark brown?
Well,
Like
I
is it?
understand. Well,
A,
anything involving decapitated heads in the duffel
yeah.
bag is definitely dark. Uh, Okay.
All right.
You also,
Hello.
hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Did you know about that movie? Have you seen? I've seen this movie. Gone Fishing.
I don't think I remember or heard of that one there.
Pesci and Danny Glover.
Hmm.
And it's basically a fishing movie. It's a comedy,
Uh-huh.
but it's them on the boat fishing, in a lake. Like it's a comedy, Brown.
Yes, I see.
A lot of comedies for Joe Pesci in the '90s,
Yeah.
and it was good. It's a comedy. It wasn't, The Good Shepherd. Have you seen this one? This was
Uh,
pretty big.
I think I may remember it.
This had Matt Damon, Angelina Jolie, De
Mm.
Niro. De Niro directed and produced it.
Interesting. Bet you didn't know that Pesci has a musical career, did you?
He had a cameo in that. What are you talking about?
What?
Talking about?
What
What are
up?
you talking about?
Yeah, he had a musical career. According to the Wikipedia here, in 1998, he released his second album and his first in 30 years. It was Vincent Laganja Garbini Sings Just for You, which was named after his character from the 1982 movie By Cousin Vinny. The album was both humorous and serious, exploring a variety of genres, though most of it was through big band jazz. The album spawned the single Wise Guy, a rap number that was played on the as a gangster theme by making reference to the mafia gangsterism. Wise Guy became big in the 1990 hit Raptured. It kind of populated the Blondie song that I just mentioned and was co-written and produced it by hip hop production team The Track Masters. And in 1999, he announced that he was retirement from acting to pursue that musical career, to enjoy life away from the silver screen. He did return to acting when he did a cameo in Robert De Niro's 2006 movie, the one you just mentioned, The Good Shepherd. He also came back in 2010. He starred in the brothel drama Love Ranch alongside Helen Mirren. He appeared with Don Rickles, one of the other great ones. I remember watching him as a kid. He was no doubt the king of insults, with whom he had worked with in Casino in years before, in the 2011 movie called Snickers Advertisement, in which he
What?
portrayed the angry alter ego of a young man who attends a party and becomes agitated by two women until he is calmed down by eating a Snickers bar. Here, have a Snickers. Feel hungry?
Up kiss.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Did you see that Love Ranch?
No, I didn't know about this until now. But like I said, it was a brothel drama that takes place
2010.
in a whorehouse or brothel, as they prefer to call it.
2010, brother.
All right, there, yep. Alongside Helen Mirren. Now, in 2011, Pesci sued Fiora Films, spelled Fiore, the producers of the movie Gotti, which was about, of course, John Gotti. And I guess this was the one that John Travolta portrayed, saying that they had broken their promise to cast him in the film as real life mobster Angelo Ruggiero. Pesci stated that he had gained 30 pounds for the role. He sued them for 3 million, which was the payment that he was promised, and the lawsuit was settled out of court in 2013 for an unspecific sum. And the role, after many production delays, eventually went to this one person named Pruitt Taylor Vince. He appears in the 2016 musical documentary Jimmy Scott, I Go Back Home, in which he is filmed recording The Folks Who Live on the Hill from Scott's 2017 posthumous album, I Go Back Home. I guess this guy apparently passed away years before this documentary was made. Now, we spoke about this one. 2017's, he was cast alongside De Niro once again in The Irishman, also with Al Pacino. We spoke about that movie last week.
I did
Uh,
see that one. It's
Yep.
on.
A crime film directed by Martin Scorsese. Ah, yay. Got Martin Scorsese still alive. Pesci was offered his role a reported 50 times before agreeing to take part. At first saying he did not want to do the gangster thing again, while Scorsese tried to persuade him the Irishman would be different.
God damn it!
You okay?
You know what I did?
What happened?
I had a cup of soda on the floor and I just stepped inside the cup.
Oh,
Talking
I
about.
see. Oh man, dude, are you in the automobile right now?
Nah. Have you
Uh,
seen? Have you ever done that before?
what again?
Have you ever done that before?
Step on something that I shouldn't have?
Or
Not
like
that much.
step into something rather, like step in, like get like mud or
Mm.
juice or
Um, or was it something else?
it's a root beer, brother.
Okay, there. Um, well,
Root beer in a
anyways,
cup. Root beer in a cup, and I put my foot down on the floor, and went inside the cup where I
oh
held my
man,
foot.
oh dude,
But
dude,
on that on that on the it was on Netflix that Guardian movie.
Yes.
Or what was it?
We're speaking of the
I
Irishman right now.
and I watched it a few times, 2 or 3 times. It's pretty long though,
Hmm.
but it's good. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
Pesci doesn't do a lot of acting anymore, man. He's 81. He's
Yep.
old,
Yes.
and
He's got his gray hair in, but he's one of the best. No doubt about that. But back to the Irishman. Scorsese tried to persuade him that the Irishman would be a little different. The film received a limited theatrical release in November of 2019, followed by digital streaming on Netflix. Pesci's performance as Russell, what's his face there, was critically acclaimed and earned him various nominations for the Academy Awards for Best Supporting Actor, the BAFTA Award for Best Supporting Actor, and two Screen Actors Guild Awards. He returned to music with his third album and his first in 21 years, titled Pesci Still Singing, and that was released on November of 2019. All right. So the guy's still out there. As you mentioned, in his 80s. He's got his gray hair, and he's still going strong, thank goodness.
oh, did you his Tales from the Crypt
Mm.
cameo, and then he was on Saturday Night Live as well, Brown.
Yes, I mentioned that he remember I mentioned that he wanted to give Sinead O'Connor such a smack for what she did to that photo of Pope John Paul II. Now let me go to his personal life here. He's been married and divorced 3 times. His first marriage was in January 1964. His third marriage was in from 1988 to 1982 to a lady named Claudia Haro, a model and actress. They have one child, a daughter named
So was
Tiffany.
he born in New York?
What's up? Was he born in New York?
Yeah.
I think he grew up in New Jersey. Let's see here. Yep, New Jersey. His mother worked part time as a barber. His father was a forklift truck driver for General Motors. He was also a bartender himself. He is of Italian descent with family origins, both born in Turin and a couple other things here. He was raised in Bellevue, New Jersey. He graduated from Bellevue High School. By the time Pesci was 5 years old and was already appearing in plays in New York City. At age 10, he was a regular on this television variety show called Star Time Kids, which featured Connie Francis. As an entertainer from Bellevue, he was acquainted with guitarist Tommy DeVito of the Four Lovers, a novelty act from Bellevue that included, along some others, singer Frankie Valli for the Four Seasons. Pesci also knew keyboard player Don Collado from the Royal Teens. He introduced one of those guys to DeVito in 1958, which led to the foundation of a band called the Four Seasons. Pesci and DeVito remained friends for the rest of DeVito's life. When DeVito fell on hard times in the 70s, found his resignation from the Four Seasons, Pesci placed Vito on his personal payroll. Pesci arranged for DeVito to make cameos in some of Pesci's 1990 movies. Pesci was childhood friends with the guy. He was also hello. And I guess YR signed off. This is most unexpected. Alright, so I guess this concludes our episode of Movie Madness for today. Keep in mind, we still got the music show later on this evening, Music Maniacs. And then on this episode, we're going to be spotlighting on the P. Diddy situation. We're going to be digging into that most definitely. And for YR myself, you have yourselves a good one. Subscribe to my channel, hit that like button and notification bell, and do the same for YR's channel, Entertainment Channel 360. And I'll see you all later on. Bye bye.